In this part of linear functions, we're going to find the slope of the line passing through 2 points. First of all, we're going to look at it graphically. So if I just pick any 2 points on the line, say that point and this point, could I find the slope? As you recall, slope, you want to kind of go up and over. So pick a point, and I would have to go up 2, and I would have to go over 6. So up 2 over 6. So the slope is 1/3. Up, over. Right? So let's pick a point here and pick a point here. But you know, instead of starting at this point, I think I'll start at this point. So yes, I have to go up 2, but I need to go over left 3. Well, left is going to be negative, so my slope is negative 2/3. But you say, well, why would you want to do that? I want to pick those same 2 points, but I want to go down 2, and down is negative, but I would go right 3, which is positive. And notice, both of those are the same answer, negative 2/3. So here the slope is up and over. Pick any 2 points. Well, what about those 2 points? Well, how far did I go up? 0, and I went over 2. So the slope is 0. And hopefully you remember that a horizontal line always has a slope of 0. Do you remember the slope of the vertical line? Hopefully you remember that it's undefined. But if you forgot, again, you can pick any 2 points, right? So if I went up 2, but I went over 0, and when you divide by 0, that is an undefined slope. So remember, horizontal is 0, vertical is undefined. But you have a formula that you may recall from high school, that it's the difference of the y values, that's that up value, divided by the difference of the x's, that's that over. Or perhaps you learned it as rise over run. Now most textbooks, every one I've ever seen, give you 2 points and ask you to find the slope. And so the most common mistake is kind of mixing up the x's and the y's. So I would suggest that if you have this, write them underneath each other. And so then you can see those are the x's and those are the y's. So when you take the slope, it doesn't matter which one comes first as long as you're consistent. So I'm going to have 0 minus 4 divided by 7 minus 0. So notice this was first, so that one's first over there. Again, just stay consistent. So we have negative 4 over positive 7. Right, again, I'm going to line these up underneath one another. I'm going to say those are my x's, those are my y's. Right, so I want to subtract my y's, negative 5 minus 9, and then negative 2 minus 1. And then you should know that a negative over a negative, you always want to write that as positive. Would it make a difference if I did a reverse order? Well, let's see. Let's just kind of check it out. What if I did it this way? What if I went 9 minus a negative 5, got to be careful there, and 1 minus a negative 2? Well, that's going to be plus, so that's positive 14 over positive 3. And you see, we get the same answer. Again, just be consistent. So how about this one? Again, I'm going to kind of line it up. It just kind of helps me visually see that and not make as many mistakes. So I have negative 5 minus a negative 5. Those are my y's over my x's. Well, I get 0 on top of 4. 0 divided by anything is 0. And again, what kind of line has a 0 slope? Horizontal. If you were to graph those 2 points and connect them, you would get a horizontal line. Let's look at the last example. Again, we kind of line them up. I'm going to go negative 2 minus 5 and 7 minus 7. So I have negative 7, oops, over 0. Can you divide by 0? Never. This is undefined. And so what kind of line is that? It would be vertical. Again, if you plotted those 2 points and connect them, you would see a vertical line. But I want you to go back and look at that example and notice something. Do you see some numbers that are the same or repeated? If you can kind of just look at that and know if the y values are the same, you're going to get a horizontal line because the y values are all going to be the same. But if your x values are the same, you're going to get a vertical line every time. So if you want to save some steps and you just happen to recognize, oh, the y's are the same, so I know my slope is 0 and it's a horizontal line, that would be awesome. And if the x values are the same, you go, ah, that's undefined and I know that's vertical. That is what our goal is, for you to be able to recognize things like that.